Hey guys, just a few days ago I had made a video talking about this impossible Easter egg that Jason Blundell had put in, and we suspected that it was Shadows of Evil the way that he did this video talking about it. There was one thing I forgot to mention in that video, and that was why I think it is Shadows of Evil, is because he had done an interview with Mr. Raffle Waffles, and it was right when Zetsubou no Shima came out, and he said, yeah, we've been in the zone of this impossible Easter egg. Well, the only two maps that were out at that time that had a lot of people playing on it and solving things were Shadows of Evil and Horizon. Knowing that information and then hearing the video talking about him putting it in different arenas, well, Shadows of Evil has these different arenas where you do the rituals. He could also be talking about the different boss fight arenas, and it could be like a cross-map Easter egg, but we're just going to focus on, in this video, the theory that it's just these ritual spots on Shadows of Evil. And let me just quickly remind you about that video where he talks about the different arenas. I'll play that right now.
And they'll be hidden in different arenas, and you won't get this one.
Okay, so as he says that, it puts him in the Nero's ritual arena and then the Ruby Rabbit ritual arena. And I think the only reason why it doesn't show the boxing gym or the theater is because this was before Black Ops 3 was even released. So there was very little information and, very little footage of the actual map. So we hadn't even seen that yet. These were the only parts of the map that we had seen. So if we are going to focus on the idea that it could be the ritual arenas, there is an Easter egg that's, been known about for a really long time since the map came out that we've never discovered before, but we have seen the textures for it. There's a side Easter egg that exists in the code called the Plague Pods Easter egg, and it shows that it interacts with the 4 arenas, that these pods show up on the ground, like around the ritual tables. And I'll show you more of that in just a moment. In the Ruby Rabbit, it's different though. There is a master pod, and that's what it's called, that will show up in this window area just across from the ritual table. It seems as though this is the master pod to all the other pods that show up, and I'll show you guys some footage of what this actually looks like when they're spawned manually into the map. I'm not too sure how people do this, but they do use mods to do this, but these are the actual models, and you can see that master pod is huge, and then these other smaller pods are just kind of scattered around this whole ritual area. There is several of these pods, and it makes it seem like, maybe they just randomize because there are so many locations where they're showing up. So if the Easter egg were actually, going and you were doing it, you wouldn't see all of these pods. You would just see maybe 1 or 2, and they would just show up in these random locations. The other pods that show up in the other ritual areas look a little bit different. They look like they're actually open, and here are the locations for the Ruby Rabbit. A lot of people are saying it looks just like the Extinction pods. So yeah, it's interesting. These pods are only showing up in the 4 ritual arenas. So could this be a part of the impossible Easter egg? With the way some of these pods show up, like in the boxing gym, some of them they're inside textures, like other objects, so it doesn't look right. So it could be well, maybe this is just an unfinished Easter egg, or maybe that's a pod that doesn't ever actually show up. But they are real, and there are really coordinates, showing where these things do spawn, and how we get them to spawn, I don't know. And again, it could have been an Easter egg that got cut. If it did get cut, the logic behind it could be that there's already too many pods on the map. You get the fumigator and you can harvest the pods to get weapons and such. So maybe they thought, well, a side Easter egg with pods would just be too much and just too repetitive. This could also be the same situation with the upgrade for the Apothicon Servant. People were able to do something with mods where they could actually spawn in these cocoons that were supposed to be for upgrading the Apothicon Servant, but that got cut. So this could definitely be that same situation, and there's always a small chance that, yeah, this really is a side Easter egg that we can do, and it could be the impossible one. And if it isn't a side Easter egg and it got cut, well, I just wanted to show you guys this stuff anyways, because it's kind of cool to see some of their ideas and how they were developing the map and things that, didn't make it. There is a very interesting question that surrounds this impossible Easter egg. Say we do find it and we do complete it. What's the reward gonna be? What's the final outcome? And, that would be exciting to find out. I can't imagine that we would get, more weapons, and the Apothicon Servant is certainly not gonna be upgraded through this process. We know that's not gonna happen. I'm not sure how many people know this or not, but there's a second set of parts to be able to build a second Apothicon Servant, and that's something we've never found, but we found the parts. We know where they're at, but we don't know how to access them. To me, it's like if they were gonna cut the ability for us to have a second Apothicon Servant, why would they leave the parts in the map? They're under the map, sitting next to the first Apothicon Servant. I think a lot of people that have investigated this are leaning more towards this was cut and we're not gonna get a second one. But we're really kind of running out of rewards to get if we do complete this impossible Easter egg. And a second Apothicon Servant seems like a pretty pretty good reward if we do figure it out. But definitely let me know what you guys think about this. And a quick update, I had these keychains on my website that sold out very quickly and people were asking for more, so I've restocked them. So if you guys are interested, you can check those out. Also, I'm gonna be giving away 15 more sets of these collector cards, and you can enter this giveaway right below where the keychains are, and I'm gonna be announcing the winners on my Twitter. I'll have the link to the keychain website along with the giveaway down in the description, but it's on, glitchingqueen.com. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next video.